we are back. And yes, we are talking about that first episode on this half of Agatha All Along. And my goodness, we're talking about 1 and 2, but we're going to talk about first. We're going to talk about the first episode first. And then go take a break, come back and talk about the second half. First off, initial thoughts.
I don't know who's starting. Just let me know when it's my turn.
I'll allow the women to go.
Please.
Then I'll go first because I'm probably going to be dissenting. I'm not going to hold you. I was not crazy about the first episode. I felt like she was trying to be like a broke Benson. And I don't know if it was like by design or by accident. Mm-hmm. Like the way when she was taking on the characterization of being the detective, because I see Mando's face. When she was taking on the characterization of being the detective, like I felt like she was being like Benson from SVU. So that was the vibes I was getting.
Yeah,
it was like but it was like a overreach. Like it was like
it was caricature. Supposed to be happy and chewed up.
Yeah. That's why the opening sequence was like an SVU sequence. They were playing. Okay,
I know, but it just didn't work for me.
I would tell you because
I know I was going to be dissenting.
I would tell you because I've seen Katherine Hahn in other roles, and she's very good in drama. She's very good in drama. So when this role she was playing as this detective was supposed to be over the top, and it was supposed to take because
I get it.
That was I'm like. Why is she? I'm like, oh no, she's supposed to do that.
And I get
for
it.
this particular,
that,
being the snarky detective and talking back to the chief and coming off of suspension, that whole night. So that part,
yeah, I did love the fight at the end though. That was good, and her ripping herself out. I thought that was cute.
That was actually there was a lot of things in this first episode that were quite genius in how they betrayed it, and that scene of Vidal, quote unquote Agent Vidal, and they're standing there in the corners of the room and they're talking, and she starts getting hot, and it's the representation of her breaking out of a spell and going through those different stages. I'm like, that's pretty genius how they're playing that. And the dramatic music, which is the Agatha All Along theme song, but they give it a very, very dramatic edge to it. Wasn't expecting a naked Katherine Hahn. I will say that.
Yo, I said, is that the first naked ass on Disney?
Yes.
And I was like,
that
what?
Was the reaction of the entire theater. Like, well, nobody saw that one coming.
Yeah, right.
It's Disney.
And honestly, kudos to Katherine fucking Hahn, because I'm not gonna lie, I clocked that booty when she was fully clothed. I'm like, oh, what you doing back there, girl? What? I don't know what you got on, but it's cute. What's that you walking with? And then I don't think that was a body double. Maybe she had some tape.
She actually said that was her. That was her. She said that was her. That was her idea. That was her idea.
I met her.
I mean, I can't do it, so somebody, it's all right.
You said I can't do it, but I'm glad you can.
No, it's you won't do it, not that you can't.
I disagree with the booty, but that's just me. I'm spoiled by my melanated sisters. What can I say?
I love you, Nate, for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
y'all. A lot going on and not at the same time.
Yo, when you want to see what no ass at all looks like, that's exactly what I saw, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, look, I can appreciate a nice booty. If I can appreciate Megs, I can appreciate anything in between, as long as you got something.
Well, I'm not a nice booty out of
between. That's the other side of the spectrum. That's the other end of the that is the other end of the ruler /stick.
That's before you fall into the well, okay? That wasn't even the well. What the?
Okay, I'm not saying that she's throwing it back on somebody and making them change their life. I'm just saying it's cute.
After the acting like a scorned ex, so who knows?
Yes, Grandma.
I want to thank StreamYard for allowing us to have the ability now to do a Bird's Eye View After Dark episode.
Yeah, before they price gouge that too.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna do a quick roundtable. Wolfie, what were your takeaways from the first episode? Favorite moments that you were really trying to figure out, and just like, oh, they went there outside the booty shot.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I thought I was going to get a quick Elizabeth Olsen cameo. Did not get that.
We'll talk about that in a second.
I mean, like the only thing I didn't quite like was Aubrey Plaza actually there, or is that some inner part of her psyche that was manifested her there? Because she says she found her when she came out of the spell.
Mm-hmm. Like she knew from Giddy
So
Up.
was she there? Like was that like a part of her psyche manifesting itself as Aubrey, or was Aubrey actually there? You know what I mean? Questions. That was my question.
Well, I'd like to know. I like to think that she was actually there, breaking the spell. Like when she shows up as Agent Vidal the very first time, if you watch the questioning she's doing, she's like, "Okay, we're doing this then. All right," and then she just kind of plays along. So I don't think she was a figment of her imagination. I think that's someone I don't know who she is yet, but she knows something. Good Lord. Good Lord. Go ahead, Tafari. Because Tafari got a chance to see the preview a day prior. So what did you think?
Yeah, thanks, King Lion. Yeah, the first episode was definitely letting us know, hey, this is how we let you know we're following WandaVision without doing a half episode recap of WandaVision, which is just re-showing. Because even in the beginning, I'm like, why? I'm realizing right now, this is us seeing Wanda's spell from her perspective. Because remember, last time we saw her, they just left her like in the Flanders, Haddly Doodly neighbor state. But we've never actually seen the inside of her head. And now we're kind of getting glances of that. Like the fact that she was never even driving. She just had a prop in her like living room with the cereal box pedals.
Her brain is scrambled right now.
And everyone knows of the Hex and Wanda, but no one's been able to tell that she's still been stuck in it this for like I think an extra year. Because we're
3 years. Extra 3 years.
Has it been 3 years since WandaVision?
It's been 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Because she just said, "How long have I been living there?"
2021.
She said 3 years.
She said, "How long have I been living?" When she said, "How long have I been living there?" I didn't know if she meant post Hex or just
yes,
post.
Okay,
once they got out of the spell. That's how I read it.
That's because they were saying like it was like, yeah, they were bringing you groceries. Like she was the crazy lady in the neighborhood that people just kind of watched over. Like she never really left the house.
She was cuddling that bunny. She was cuddling that bunny. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I thought the bunny was getting sacrificed by the end of this, or by the end of the second episode. I think.
What is with you wanting death everywhere?
It's all the first off.
It's all the anime he watches.
That part.
Not even that. Once we hear the real Agatha for like an episode and a half, I'm like, I see why you got everything. Everybody hates you. You are not a nice person, like whatsoever. Like she was trying to basically just murder her whole coven. Like once the plan backfired at the end.
Well, she wasn't trying to murder them.
Christy.
No, she was when she said
she was because she said she doesn't take people's power. It's when they hit her with their power that that's kind of the spell.
And look how that worked out for.
And that's why she was trying to rile them up
for her last coven, the pile of corpses she made.
Oh, she knew what she was doing with that one.
And we know canonically, this woman has sacrificed children, so
and apparently they're delicious. Apparently,
it was an interesting first episode, and then watching her go through basically all 8 episodes of outfits for WandaVision, and then clawing her way out. And then seeing kind of how WandaVision would have those random things where it's like, do you want me to do the line again? But they would never like break out of their character. So she's asking her like, is this really how you see yourself? I'm like, okay, so this is like teases of where we were / going to where we are now. Still not sure where we're going after seeing both episodes, but I'm interested.
But see, that's the thing.
Right.
I like that part of it. I like not knowing where they're going. I like that they're using the spooky factor and they're going in that direction. The trailer so far has not disappointed me in what we got these first 2 episodes. And I'm just like, oh, this is different. From the opening and then them playing with the Witch's Road song, using that as the opening, the whole 9 so far, I'm like, this is clever. Even the Jane Doe, which it's literally writing on the wall, and I'm just like, but is it? And I'm trying to like, but is it her? You know?
Well, they made her spell out Darkhold for the book.
That was that part I picked up on before she even started writing it out. I'm like, I keep.
Did
As
you
soon as I
notice
saw
the way
seeing the title of the book, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Did you notice the shape of the burnout for the bookshelf?
Yes.
That kind of threw me for a second. The entire bookshelf.
I didn't realize that.
It was burnt in the shape of the way the Scarlet Witch's palace crumbled.
Mm-hmm.
That was her palace, and that was the hole that it left.
They really, I think they really thought it through on this one. I think they thought it through.
Also, when she's in the interrogation room, I don't know what it is. Oh, Mother Witch Crone. Yes. Just got it. Okay, so in the interrogation room, the clock on the wall is also stuck at 3:33.
Mm-hmm.
Mother
I kept
Witch
seeing
Crone.
people bring that up, and I didn't understand the significance of it.
Yes.
Isn't like
I'm so glad I was
Jesus,
the only one.
the Father?
No,
the
it's a witchcraft thing. I don't.
The power of three. The power of 3.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, Kira, go ahead, keep going. What did you think?
Go ahead, Kira. Go ahead.
I like puzzles. I like finding out things as we're going along. I don't have a score in my head for if I really like this. I like where they're going so far. Out of the 8 episodes we're getting?
6 or 8. It might be 8. It might be 8.
For 8.
Yeah, me too.
Which is still annoying. I'm hoping that we have an actual story and a change in the MCU going forward from this. And I saw what Bama said. You think that the kid is Wiccan?
I don't.
You know what? They said something like that made it seem that way.
They're thinking.
Yeah, they hinted at it.
They're thinking either like variation of Wiccan,
right?
Possibly a sacrificed child reincarnated, her sacrificed child reincarnated, and Mephisto because nobody's letting that go.
Well, damn.
Honest to God, I really did think Mephisto, and I never say that shit out loud. I really thought Mephisto. I know it sounds stupid.
I mean, this would be the show to
introduce Mephisto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
even a name because we were waiting on it after episode 4 of WandaVision when the wrong Pietro showed up. We thought he was gonna be like I was waiting for him to show up like in the Kevin seat, just masterminding all the TVs.
Not the Kevin.
There'll also be 9 episodes, by the way, not 8.
It's 9.
I think we're getting
that's
2.
That's a good number. Then that's actually a good number. That's not a bad.
I think
number.
we're getting 2.
I will
this
take
week.
9.
I think 2 this week, a bunch of singles, and then 2 to close it out on Halloween.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, they had the schedule up, so yeah, that's
on Halloween. That's a Friday too. Okay, no, Thursday. It's a Thursday.
Either way, we are back to Witchy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they said, we got to get these last 2 out the day before our Wednesdays are locked. Navy.
First of all, I'm enjoying where it's going so far. I really am. I like the fact that the opening reminds me of those Danish detective shows where you have the grizzled detective and you see this dark, almost grayish, really dreary setting, and they're coming down, and like you said, they got in trouble. They're coming back on the scene, and they're like, I haven't seen you and everything. And the only thing I think is this reminds me of so many of them damn detective shows where they're
just watching Netflix. Just watch Netflix.
Yeah, they're just
Mhm.
walking.
They
walking down
have a ton of them, and they're not bad. They're
walking
actually
down
not
the
bad.
hill. And it's like, so what do we got here in McCullough? Hi, welcome, Chief. Glad to have you back. Let's tell you about the story. And that's the vibe I got. But as it went on, I was like here. I was just mesmerized by all of the breadcrumbs they kept throwing out, going back to WandaVision. And I said, oh, I'm really invested in this. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the character team is already aggravating.
He's very much giving me young Barry vibes from the Flash movie. And
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't know.
doing so much in the beginning, and mind you, she's playing off of him really well. But it's just like,
Carl Jones, what's going on?
yeah, it's like, what in the world is going? But I'm on board to see where they're going with this. I'm liking the direction that they're going. So please take me on this roller coaster. You got my money.
I'm like,
Literally.
you opened up strong, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a very strong opening, and then your follow up was and the second episode, which we'll talk about in the next half, is just as strong and just as entertaining. But Lainey, or Grill or Horror, I saved you last on purpose.
No, I started out first. I wanted to start because I felt like I was going to be.
Okay, well,
I wanted to start off because I knew I was going to be dissenting.
You did say
but
that.
I just had a question. My
11.
question was in the recent Disney things that we've gotten, from Disney Plus, these Marvel series, has any of them actually started out terrible where we're like, I don't think I'm gonna watch this? The disappointment usually comes later down the line, at least for me.
I think there was
only Iron Fist.
There was moments. I'm not gonna lie. There were definitely. First off, let's get this out the way. I'm a Marvel head, whether it's comics, cartoons, or film, or television. It doesn't matter. I'm Marvel head through and through. I'm a bitch for Marvel. I'm not afraid to say that. I have to watch the good and the bad. It's literally part of the deal at this point. I was like, I can say this is good, this one not so much, but it works with the narrative, whatever. But for the most part, a lot of these they do start off strong, and right now, what you see they got a really good cast. Number two, they have a really good cast, so I don't see them messing this up.
Fucking Anya from Buffy the fucking Vampire Slayer. I'm like, oh, she's back. Oh, she's got a job again.
No, not only that, most of those original actors are back.
Yeah.
So it's not even
actually,
and I'm hoping
all of them.
Thank you. And I'm hoping that they do not waste that because I was waiting for her to be some kind of witch. How do you not make Anya a witch? So I'm hoping they don't waste that.
Yeah. The whole Agatha coming out and then talking to Herb, and he's like, "Oh, hey, damn." He's like, but you're naked. So
her wife was going to come outside.
He's like, "Look, I was just cutting these rose bushes. I wasn't doing it."
Shout out to him because he played that role like,
No, he was worried about police coming and trying to
it was the old boy across the street, his wife. He was just like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "Nothing."
She points, "Police chief." He just turned around and walked back.
When the Hellions or whoever them demon witches came, thank you, Herb, for immediately going in the house.
Look, that's second episode. We jumping
right.
But
is that next episode?
That's the second episode.
Yeah, I ain't seen it yet, nerd.
I love you, baby. I only have seen it.
But that is definitely a strong opening, and them talking about the clever way of covering up what the Darkhold was spelling out. That was very clever. As they were talking about the Jane Doe, and I'm like, they're going to imply that it's Wanda.
But we know it's not going to be.
Oh, yeah. But from the beginning.
Yeah. And then when she's looking at the fingers, here's the thing. Opening scene, she's driving in the car and she's humming down the witch's road. There's traces of it. It's as if the spell is wearing off. So it's just coming, it wasn't until Agent Vidal comes into play and she's like, okay, enough of this game. Wake the hell up. Finally, we're here. And
who sent the kid? I'm going back in my mind. I'm
I
like, all
want to
right,
know.
That's
I would like to
That
know.
was my
I-
first question.
That's my thing with all the
Yeah,
goofy
who
ass
sent
antics. The goofy ass antics and personality has you forgetting to ask these questions because you're just like, all right,
It's
man,
not just the kid; it's the locket.
somebody else. That's what some people are thinking. The whole sacrifice child is thing because like, there's a kid's trophy in there for some damn reason. And what if like she sacrificed a kid a long time ago and that's a lock of his hair in there?
who
Mm.
said that was his hair?
I was thinking it was hers.
I was thinking it was Aubrey's.
Yeah.
See, I think there's
That's
some.
also-
I think
I
there's
think it's
something between them.
unknown. We don't know who it belongs to yet.
Yeah, the way I
Some
was
people
thinking, the reason why I was thinking it was Agatha is because one, she's a very powerful witch, and what do normally powerful people do in these kind of genres is they kind of leave an opening or a shortcut just in case something happens. This is kind of Lex
Entrance to a
Luthor
rabbit
even
hole.
Lex Luthor has a backdoor to something. He was just like, in case I get caught, which I shouldn't, I have an alibi.
Mm-hmm.
Joker,
Horcrux.
despite all his thing, I got a way around this. So that was my thinking. I'm like, that lock of hair could be her because it's not Wanda's. So and that whole breakdown. So I'm like, it could be hers.
We need to go back to WandaVision because they tell the story of the three. Weren't there three witches that got burnt?
Yeah.
I think if you go back to that, you probably have an idea of who it probably belongs to. But I still think it's Aubrey Plaza.
A girlfriend.
Can we talk
Yeah,
about
mhm.
Aubrey Plaza, please?
Yeah, people are saying there's a lot of
Aubrey
elements
Plaza is
of.
a delight.
People are saying there's
She
a lot
really
of there's a lot
is.
of elements and references to witches' demises. We don't do well in courtrooms. There's always some kind of reference to burning, drowning, or hanging, which is routinely how they were dealt with.
What did she say? She says, "Oh, they still going with those." That was her answer. She's like, "Oh, they still do that."
Did
So
anybody
nothing new.
keep the true crime intro? They had everybody in character name during the
Right.
Including
Agnes,
Mrs. Hart.
including who produced it, which it was like Wanda Viz Dejan or something like that.
Yeah,
the German version of based on the show.
Right, they were like
it was
based on
a Danish
Yeah, it was like a Danish translation
Danish
of
detective series.
It's very.
I was in it too.
It was very much. It was very much homage, and I'm like, y'all really did this. Y'all really thought this out. And I think part of what you were saying earlier, what was stated earlier about having how some of the previous MCU shows, there was a mark in which, we were rushed a lot of stuff. And part of the reason was COVID. So that rushed a lot of shooting schedules and everything else. So you didn't get a lot of really well fleshed out storylines. Like, they didn't land. Not all of them landed. Some of them did fine. Some of them not so much. But in the end, whether it was CGI, whether it was COVID messing up shooting schedules, and because we really weren't, what phase are we in now? 5?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Don't get me started.
The previous phase was the phase we were supposed to get stretched out. It wasn't supposed to be so many in 1 year. It was supposed to be stretched out. It was supposed to be like 2 a year at best. And we never got that, but that it wasn't no fault of their own. It was just, this is the nature of the beast, and they kind of messed up everything else. It was a domino effect. So I'm glad that they were able to say, let's take this break after, I can't remember the last film prior to Deadpool and Wolverine, but let's take this break and regroup. We don't have to do everything through the show. We can drop a show here.
Was Quantumania the last full-length film we got between
Guardians of the Galaxy? I think Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely after Quantumania.
Yeah, Volume 3.
Guardians of the Galaxy was the last one.
Yeah, Guardians 3.
So I think, and I'm glad that they're taking that step back. And I told Lady when we did the review, when we did the reaction for the trailer, I said, this is coming out at the perfect time. It's fall, it's the spooky season. Like, I'm ready. And this show already has me wanting more. I'm glad we got the first 2 episodes. I'm looking forward to episodic releases. I'm fine with that. Aubrey Plaza is an absolute delight. It's the crazy eyes. It's the I don't know. She plays that so damn well. And I need more. Every role I've seen her in, I'm like, you shouldn't fit that role as well as you do. But you are very quirky outside the box. And that's your fit. Yeah.
That was
Thank
me the
you.
first time.
Thank you. And that's, girl, I was saying the same thing. That's why I kept, every time I'll be like, oh, Aubrey Plaza. I don't like her because of her role in Criminal Minds. No. It is the same thing as the white girl from Get Out. No.
Oh,
I got trust issues with her. With them two. No.
I know Aubrey best from Parks and Rec
Parks and
and
Rec.
Parks and Rec and Legion.
Scott Pilgrim.
Legion and Scott Pilgrim.
Oh
So-
yeah, she was in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, about half of Marvel was in Scott Pilgrim.
This
Yeah.
is
Literally.
80%.
Yeah, 80%. Yeah. Go back and watch Scott Pilgrim. You'll be like, oh damn, that was Captain Marvel. Yes.
they just did the cartoon. Same
So-
cast.
Same cast. So looking forward to the following episode, but it was an absolute. I was rewatching it today before the show and just saying, this is good. This is where it needs to be. You know, I'm glad that they're realizing we can step outside that normal recipe of what we were doing before. Thank you,
I
Ryan
will say
Reynolds.
that. I appreciate that.
I salute you, sir. Because now they don't have to do the same thing over and over and over again. You can tell that different story and really make it work. Get the right people behind the screen, get the right people to write on the page. You'll come up with the right people to show up and do what they're supposed to do on screen. And like I said, cast, which we'll be talking about in the second half, is quite amazing. And I like the banner. So we'll be right back. We're going to be talking about the second half, the second episode of Agatha All Along, and this amazing cast and some of the references that they have in that one. So we'll be right back.